I'm Blandford Gates. I was born in Newfoundland and immigrated to Canada, so I'm an immigrant. I've had a long relationship with art and architecture through my father's work as a carpenter, and he brought home drawings, so I thought that got me involved in an interest in being an architect. And my mother used to watercolor paint, so I saw art and architecture in my home, and that stayed with me. And at 11 years old, I decided I wanted to be an architect. So I graduated from high school and went into architecture. And from there, I got into a business and had a great life as an architect, now retired. In the education of an architect, the teaching of art is very important because they want you to be able to draw so you can express what your ideas are in drawings. So I learned to draw and paint in architecture university. I would go for walks on an abandoned beach near what is now the Spit. And there was an abandoned beach there that nobody used. So I went there, walked, and I would see pieces of metal. And I would pick them up. Oh, that's interesting. And I would put it in my pocket. And then I would see a piece of lumped glass, and I would pick that up and carry it home too. So over time, I had accumulated a bunch of metal and glass. And so I thought, my goodness, what am I going to do with this? So I had it down in the basement on a bench, and I looked at this bench and I said, you know, if I put this piece together with that piece, it would be a bird. Oh, okay. If I put this piece together with that piece, it would be a camel. So I said, well, I guess I should learn how to put them together. So I took a course in one of the community colleges in welding, because I had to braze these things and weld them together. I bought a second-hand welding outfit, and I started welding them together. A bit shaky at the beginning, but I got them together, and so I said, this is a nice hobby. So I collected more of this stuff. When I walked around the streets of the community on garbage night, there would be pieces of metal. So I have a magnetic personality, so I would pick them up. And then after a while, I thought, I need more than this. So I would go to the community dumps. Yeah. So I went through the dumps and picked up more stuff. So over time, I had quite an accumulation. And then in 1977, we bought a farm out in the village of Warkworth. And so I transitioned all of my stuff, my welding equipment, and all of my metal junk to Warkworth Farm. And I established my studio, and that was good fun. Because we had the farm, I would find all kinds of farm equipment that I could incorporate into my pieces. So a lot of the work is mostly stuff from the farm, from farms in the neighborhood, and from dumps and from the beach. But that's how it went. I've created hundreds of them, so I can't remember what the first one was, but it'd be quite simple. I think it would be a little bird, but that's long gone because what I do with my stuff, I sell it and I raise money and I donate what I earn from the sale of the goods to charities. And I give it away to friends and that, so over time I'm just trying to divest myself of all of this stuff. What I found at the beginning, I would just make animals, birds, and whatever. But I thought it would be good to have a theme so that I could continue making a bunch of things, but they were all related in one way or another. So the first thing that I made as a theme piece was a chess set. I don't know why, because I don't play chess, but I admire people that play it. So I thought, okay. So I learned about chess, about the pieces, how they're located, how the board is set up. And then I picked out all of the pieces in my studio that would suit making a chess piece. So the simple pieces, of course, to make are the pawns. And the pawns basically are all established on top of maple syrup cans because it gives them the nice channel effect. I set up a chess game in the village of Warkworth, and they would rent me the town hall. So I set up the chess set. I took from a chess manual a famous game between two major architects, and I had two village people help me move the pieces, and we played a game. And people came, got very interested in it, and apparently the chess set was a great attraction for the village. The funeral for Katrina, I think it came from me watching a television program about New Orleans. And one of the items was a New Orleans jazz funeral. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I saw the funeral, the coffins and the flower cars and the bands playing. I thought that would make a good theme for a piece of my art. So that's what I did. I started gathering on benches different pieces. And of course I had to have a lot of wheels, so that was a big problem, finding wheels for my funeral cortege. And I would go to the second-hand stores, and I would go to a variety village and buy things that had wheels. Katrina is interesting, that's the funeral person, is a bottle opener, a woman-shaped bottle opener. And she's the main event for the cortege. And I'm making a funeral, so I want to make it look sad. So the hood of the car, the shoehorn, came up, and I put a tongue coming out of this. So it looked a bit sad. And what it was, the tongue is from a block plane, you know, a little plane that you hand with a hand. It's not the old planes are like this, but a block plane you push with your hand. So to stop it hurting your hand, they put this very sure shape, so it made a perfect tongue. So that's they all came from pieces like that.